going to wander over to Mr. Tiefling. So sort of quietly say, Did you forget to bring your costume?
Not forget so much as didn't think I needed one.
Ah. So you're not part of this motley crew of unicorns, of strange and mystical creatures.
No, not here for party, here for business.
I want to pry further. I turn back to watch this rat king, as you put it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to do the same thing. See if Leaf is done with the Rat King yet.
He's finished the first page, and he's getting on to the second one. As you know, copying with ink and a pen is a very slow process.
Yeah.
Especially when you've been stabbed.
The witch hag seems to walk over to the people who are tied up and kind of associates herself with them. There's a hooded figure who you can see...
I'm going to meander that way and see if I can't hear what's said.
Yeah, you can see the bottom of his chin in the vague, obscure sort of light that's in this room. And you can see that on the tip of his hood he has a circle with a square almost inscribed in it, but not quite.
I'm going to look at to these tied up people.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find out more details. If it's not an everyday occurrence, do we look like slaves or...
We're not sure.
One of them is a much smaller in size, probably a gnome halfling or one of the shorter humanoid races. The other two are of normal size and seem to be much calmer than the halfling is. It's a little bit hard to tell who they are or a lot of their facial features because they have their faces covered in different patterns of face paint. The halfling has blue on this quarter of her face and red on these quarters of her face. The larger people have the similar pattern but with different colors.
Awfully calm for people tied up. And no one's really betting me an eye.
The halfling is staring directly at you, kind of with a feared look on her face while the hag isn't looking back at them.
I wave. So this hag, just sort of there.
Yeah, she's beginning to walk away now, to the other corner of the room, sort of towards the hooded person on the other side of the table.
Right.
You can see on the edges of the walls there's all of the costume pieces that they normally have out during the day, but they've pushed them to the edge of the room so that they can have space for their table.
So do I know that this is more than just a costume shop? It's that... what was the name of that god who assembled?
It's a Church of Norgorber. Yes, it's pretty well rumored.
This is obviously a cult.
Yeah. So you know about it.
Right. So it's like a public cult ceremony. You can just walk in and watch.
If you have the key to the lock
yes,
or
okay,
lock
second
picking
right.
skills.
It's right next to the public park with the playground.
They pass out flyers every Wednesday.
The great god. Yeah. Is Neil done yet?
Yeah, he seems to be finishing up his writings. And then you see him collect his coins, and you, Leaf, you manage to accrue 10 gold pieces.
We're going to say points of damage.
2 platinum pieces. So altogether that would be 30 gold.
Ooh,
Not bad.
yeah.
bad at all.
That the noise you make as soon as you receive.
That's the noise of bank being made.
He makes that in
Bank.
character too. That's actually
Yeah.
the noise Leaf made.
And I
It's a
suppose
side
that
effect
you
of a
just-
poison.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
It's normally much shorter than that.
You see some drool just like flick down from the corner of my mouth, and I'm like, what? How did that get there?
Poison drunk.
You feel that the burning has started to become just sort of warm, like when you've had a few too many.
If you just injected alcohol in him.
Oh dear. I think that would kill you actually.
It's actually kind of pleasant now.
Yeah. I'm like, I look at the raccoon, and I'm like, wow, that's... this is not as bad as I thought it would be.
He just nods for now and whispers off to somebody else.
Okay,
I'll go
I
up to Leaf
collect...
and
It
ask him
seems
if he's
after
doing okay.
he's conveyed the spells to your spell book, he's like done with you. He's not interested in you anymore.
Yeah, I figured that. I collect my spell book and the payment, and I go over to Soren.
You doing all right, Leaf?
Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
I
I
kind
have a
of
suspicion that that's going to come back and bite us, actually.
possibly, but
What did I miss?
well, I got quite a bit of useful magic.
That's good.
I acquired 2 new spells.
Can't
No,
be
those
expected
things-
that you seem to have gotten stabbed, though.
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
elaborating.
Yeah, I mean, yes, spells aren't that easy to come by. It's amazing I got
True.
2 at once. Besides the fact that he gave us payment. I got
Very true,
30
very
gold altogether.
That's not bad.
It's very not bad.
You've been well paid for your barf.
Sure.
You still have that powerful.
Well, he carried it off and put it in a back room, so he actually kept the barf
Yeah.
ball, which I suspect was the purpose of the experiment.
The purpose of the experiment worries me not. I lived through it to tell the tale, and I was paid. That's all that matters.
True, we shall count that as a victory.
You can hear a quick wooden creak as the hood figure begins to climb on top of the table, standing up in a very strong stance.
This ought to be interesting.
Okay. I clutch at my arm again, just kind of wary of the poison, and I look up at the figure.
You can see that from this angle, you can see that this person has brass knuckles on their hands, which seem to be attached to very square designed chains. And he kind of whispers to people from his kind of pulpit, being on top of the table. And people start to slide gold onto the table, one at a time. The devil seems to be putting out a particularly large amount.
Does he look expectantly at us?
No, you guys are off. You're a little bit too far away from the table for him to kind of notice you.
Right.
Can we hear what he's whispering?
You can hear that he's saying, I know I'm new to this building, but I think I'm going to show you something you all would be very interested in. Just give me a little bit of gold and I will show you something I am very, very certain you've not seen before. It's a little bit hard to tell if the voice is masculine or feminine. It's possibly feminine.
Okay. I kind of do the old
Relate
church
this to you.
offering move, and I look around at how much money everybody else is putting in, and I kind of try and put in around that much.
The old church offering move.
Yeah.
You've just been stabbed with poison. Now you're going to pay him money.
Well, he did just get 30 gold, so he can afford it.
You got your payment. Like, giving them the payment. So you can
Oh,
see
this is
the-
different dude.
So I got paid to get paid, so I can pay this guy to pay me.
Yeah.
Very
A lot.
efficient production line system they got now.
Well, Ashley, if you think this has anything to do with the slave pits,
I say I'm betting on it. Can I tell
Slave
how much
pits.
gold? Can I tell approximately how much gold is being put forth? Is it hundreds or fives or tens?
A little bit less than 100, you'd think.
A little bit less than 100.
So you guys are hearing about the slave pits as well.
yeah, we've been hired to investigate what's been happening to the slaves and put a stop to it if at all possible.
Say, so you're here about the slave pits? Interesting. I didn't think somebody else would be onto this.
I more or less stumbled upon it. And trail led me here.
Hmm.
I imagine my voice is about 3 octaves high.
That would put you really squeaky.
Well, tell me, what do you know of the slave pits then? And
Do
what's
I know
been-
of the slave pits, DM? What do I know of the slave pits?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know that sometimes to keep them contained, Absalom will receive shipments of slaves from especially an island called Okino, and sometimes from other places as well, like Katapesh and other places, but essentially, essentially, that's where they keep their slaves. And they're not known to be mistreated more than you would expect. Perhaps malnourished at times, but that would be the worst of it. So you've seen that the beatings that have been happening within the last week have been particularly abnormal and have been happening in very abnormal ways.
I say that.
Mhm.
Paraphrase.
Yeah. I need paraphrasing.
Yes.
I'm long-winded.
Which is actually a great quality in a DM, so good job.
Yep.
You can see that the hooded figure is beginning to kind of do what seems to be breathing exercises, and it's one of the few noises you can actually hear without difficulty. So you can hear the loud, deep breathing, and you can see what seems like some sort of martial arts demonstration on top of this table.
Hmm.